Wow. Hey,
Oh
I know,
man.
I know Jim Trotter was on yesterday, but we just can't play that enough, replay that enough. Rihanna, post Super Bowl halftime show, which was watched by more people who actually watched the game. 118 million people saw this halftime show, 113 million roughly saw the game. And so Trotter sees Rihanna there on the golf cart. You crushed it, Ree. And she says, thank you, boo.
Thank
To
you,
our
boo.
guy, Mike Jones, our guy, Lord Trotter. How do you feel about Lord Trotter getting that? Now, you got to call him Lord now for real.
Hey, I told her, I tweeted at him because he said the paperwork's filed. His name is changed to Boo Trotter. I said, you were Lord Boo. He turned into a 15-year-old fanboy. But hey, you know what? She did acknowledge him. I didn't think our Mr. Cool, was going to get so giddy like that.
Wow. That's awesome.
We've seen it all now. So let me tell me this, Mike Jones, because you got so much to dig into. We had the Super Bowl, great Super Bowl. And then a couple of days after, what do we have? Derek Carr, according to Adam Schefter, has officially been released by the Raiders. You tell me which story grabs your attention, and both of you, really, because there's so much good stuff here. So Carr released by the Raiders. Where is he going to go? Aaron Rodgers is still probably in the darkness retreat. Who knows if the Jets will get him and if the Packers will turn it over to Jordan Love. The Indianapolis Colts, I must say I was wrong. I want to say it loudly, energetically. I was wrong. I was convinced they were going to give that job to Jeff Saturday. And give them credit. No Saturday. No. He was not the man for the job. They gave the job to Shane Steichen of the Eagles. So he's their new head coach. And then Jonathan Gannon, new head coach of the Arizona Cardinals. So, Mike, all these NFL storylines flowing, what stands out to you?
Then nothing changes. You got 5 head coaching vacancies. You got 1 black guy hired to replace another black guy. You got all these unproven coordinators with no play calling experience or very little play calling experiences. And you got guys with track records like Leslie Frazier who didn't even get a sniff. You hiring guys, Super Bowl losers to run your team, and Eric Bieniemy, 2-time Super Bowl winner, doesn't get a head coaching job. He is basically going to have to settle for another offensive coordinating job if he leaves the Chiefs. That's what stands out to me is that, Roger Goodell, and they talk about all the progress and things like that. Nothing freaking changes. You got Raheem Morris, like I said, Leslie Frazier, Bieniemy, Byron Leftwich, Jim Caldwell, all these qualified guys that, Shane Steichen, what has he accomplished that Byron Leftwich hasn't? Or what has he accomplished that Eric Bieniemy has not? What has Jonathan Gannon accomplished that Leslie Frazier has not? Jonathan Gannon, 2 years and kind of got his lunch handed to him the second half of that game. Yeah, but let's let him run our football team. And, is he going to be the guy that can help, Kyler Murray? I don't know, man. This what stands out to me is that nothing freaking changes on this head coaching front.
I'm mystified. I'm mystified about Bieniemy. I can't. We've all been staring at this for so many years now, and to this day I can't get a sensible answer that from a multitude of it seems like it's always this excuse or that excuse. I can't get some common ground answer for why Eric Bieniemy has not gotten that job. And it drives me crazy because I feel like there is something there, or what is it? I want to hear what. Stop making the excuses. And I look at a place like Arizona. Mike talks about Jonathan Gannon getting hired there. You hire a defensive coach, nothing against Jonathan Gannon, but you hired a defensive coach for a team that needs someone there with the quarterback. I know you fired Cliff Kingsbury, and he was supposed to be there, but this is an offensive league. I think you hire offensive coaches, when you have the quarterback to pair them with, and yet they go and their finalists are 2 defensive coordinators. And so I'm just I don't understand what the franchise is doing. How does this head coach make Kyler Murray a better player, And and if someone comes in and turns Kyler around as an offensive coordinator, then they can leave and go become a head coach elsewhere. And Kyler once again is left without an offensive line in the building. So I just, I can't figure out Bieniemy, and I don't know what the heck the Cardinals are doing.
Yeah, as I said to Mike Smith yesterday, look, if Eric Bieniemy is thinking about leaving Kansas City because he feels like that's his path to a head coaching position, then I'd say don't leave Kansas City, because that's not your path. Like, your path is where you are right now is good enough. Like, you've already accomplished it, as you said, Mike. Not just one Super Bowl title, but two. Not a handful of conference championship games, but 5 of them. 5
right.
conference championship games. Working with Patrick Mahomes, being next to Andy Reid and being a part of this group, this franchise that since 2017, 2018 has been one of the best franchises in the NFL. I mean, if this is not enough to get the attention of owners, then I hate to say, going somewhere else where you don't have Patrick Mahomes, you don't have Andy Reid, and let's say you finish number 11 in offense. Well, he's only a number 11 in offense. He needs Patrick Mahomes. You didn't say that about anybody else.
No, right.
So you keep
You're
changing
exactly
the
right.
rules. So
Right.
I hope he stays, because he's in a good situation. He's not the best situation. The best situation is Eric Bieniemy, head coach. But if he leaves, Mike, what are we looking at?
Well, that's the problem. If he leaves, because Baltimore hired their offensive coordinator today. So I thought if he left, that would have been a good situation, because you go to Lamar Jackson, from Patrick Mahomes to Lamar Jackson. But now you're looking at Washington as a team that really wants him. They don't even know who their freaking quarterback is. You don't even know if Ron Rivera is going to be your head coach next year and beyond next year. That's not a good situation. And unfortunately, if he goes somewhere, it's not going to be a positive thing for him to be able to really flex and show what he can do, because it's not quality. And if he goes to a head coaching position, where are you going to go? You don't want to just take anything, because then you'll be like Hugh Jackson with the Raiders and the Browns in bad situations and not really having a chance to succeed, or some of these other guys that we've seen. It's just mystifying. You hear all these excuses why coaches of color should not be head coaches, and all those excuses go out the window for the white counterparts. Guys who aren't primary play callers, but it's okay. We'll still hire Kevin O'Connell to be our head coach.
But we'll still hire. Matt Nagy didn't need to go somewhere else to be a head coach. Doug Peterson, when we went through the whole, Andy's calling 95% of the offense. Right. Doug calls some of the stuff. Sometimes in the fourth quarter, Andy lets them. That Doug Peterson got 2 jobs. Okay. Now, granted, the second job was because of what he did in the first job, but he got the first job without, we weren't sitting here forever saying, well, he just can't get a head coaching job because it's Andy calling play. Like, that just doesn't hold water. It just doesn't.
And Zach Taylor and Kevin O'Connell, add them to the list too,
And Kevin O'Connell wasn't even calling, because Kevin O'Connell wasn't calling plays there. Zach Taylor wasn't calling plays. Yeah, it's just that's completely absurd. And this idea that you have to go to a worse situation to qualify for a better job is the dumbest thing I've ever. That's not at all how it's worked. We just watched the Philadelphia Eagles place 2 coordinators in jobs. Neither had to go to a worse situation in order to qualify for a head coaching job. That's stupid. That's ridiculous. Don't go to Washington. You're going to be crazy to go to Washington. No one should go to Washington to try and get a better job than the one they're in now. That's absurd.
Hey, when you say it out loud, it sounds worse. Like, hey, so Eric, what's your next? Yeah, right. But that just tells you how bad the situation is. It tells you how bad the NFL is right now. And everybody's guilty. Everybody's guilty until the situation changes. So, Eric, what's your next move? Yeah, I'm going to leave the Super Bowl champs. We won our second Super Bowl in 4 years. I'm going to leave. I'm going to go work for Daniel Snyder, or whoever he's going to sell the team to, if he does sell the team. I'm going to go work for him, and I'm going to work for a coach who, I don't know, he may get fired like 8 games into the 2023 season. It's that bad? That's what what it leaves us. It's really mind-numbing. You're right. I try to put a positive spin on the Colts situation. Mike, I was wrong.
Sorry.
To think that Saturday was going to get the job, but I was right about the big picture.
Yeah.
Same old same.
I mean, hey.
But you're not. But you're original, though.
Maya Angelou said, when people show you who they are, believe them.
Believe them.
The NFL has showed us again and again and again who they are.
Mike Jones. Mike, I love you.
Love you too.
Thank you. See how that? See that? See how easy that is? See how beautiful that is? Doesn't cost a thing.
You meant to say thank you, boo.
Hey, thank you for watching Brother from Another. If you haven't hit that subscribe button, go ahead and do that now. Don't forget you can catch us 3 to 4 weekdays on PeacockTV.com and on Sirius XM Channel 85.